Hey guys, Jim Bounds Motorhome Rehab Ranch. You guys that are on YouTube, how you doing? On Patreon, if you're on YouTube, shoot this with your phone. This will take you directly to our Patreon page where pictures and different things will be. Um, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a weekly ranch hand, thank you for your support. It's been a little bit less videos out lately, but I'm just about over all this stuff. So thank you for this. Thank you for that support and for the ideas of different things. Today, we're going to talk about fan belts. Now, everybody knows fan belts. You've had to put fan belts on before and all this kind of stuff. Let me give you a couple of little tips on it. Now, first tip, driving down the highway, everybody's happy. All the belts throw. Oh no. Pull over to the side of the road. Yeah, you put a belt, you got a belt underneath there, and you got the wrenches. Oh, now you got to come up with some cuss words and cut yourself on the fan and all this kind of stuff. Let me give you an idea. And I got this idea from a pilot, single engine airplane pilot. 7570 is your alternator belt. Your alternator belt turns the water pump. It actually turns the power steering pump, and it turns your alternator. So if you do nothing more than put on a 7570 belt, you can limp on home. Make sense? You can get it on quick, then there's a lot less cuss words, right? Take a 7570 belt and tie wrap it to your motor. Because to put the alternator belt on, you gotta take off the AC belt. You gotta take off the power steering belt. Well, you don't have to, but if you've already got the 7570 belt already there, cut the tie wraps, slide it right on where it needs to be, tighten it off. You're out of here. Make sense? Belts. People talk about 10 millimeter belts, standard belts, where's it riding in the groove, all that stuff. Listen, when you look at your belt, you look at your pulley. Pulley has sidewalls on it. It has a base. Your fan belt runs here and here, not here. Okay? So if you look at your belts and they look good, look and see where it's riding, because it could have worn down to the point that it's actually on the bottom. Does it make sense? Okay. So, well, also, I mean, usually by that time, if you turn it up like this, you'll have a crack in the belt. If you have crack in your belt, you definitely need to put a new belt on. All right. But the belt rides right here. So if you get a belt that's too big, it's going to ride up here. And if you get one that's too small, it'll bottom out. So my suggestion is to use a standard size belt, not the 10 millimeter belt. A lot of people do it. That's okay. I'm good with that. But it's just that we always use a standard size belt. It always worked best for us. Next thing, putting the belts on. First belt that goes on is your power steering belt. Why? Because the power steering belt actually skins on the alternator belt, and you have to install and adjust the power steering belt first. Now you say, well, how do I adjust it? If you look at the pulley, it's got center. In the pulley are two holes. Okay? Now, if you look down behind the pulley, you'll see a 9/16 bolt that goes in here just like that. All right? Let me draw this. Boy, this is, it looks like I have to clean my eraser. But if you look down on it, you're going to see the pulley. You're going to see the power steering box. And right there is that belt, is that bolt. Well, what do? You line up one of those holes in the pulley and then stick a socket with an extension on it right in there, loosen it, and that's the adjuster bolt. And while the extension's in here, you can pull on that to adjust it and then tighten it back down. Does that make sense? Now you can get hold of it right here and loosen it and all this stuff. But those two holes were there for the reason for that. Now the reason you have to do this one first, because there is a second pulley on there that actually goes to the alternator. The alternator, like I said, the alternator belt spins the power steering pump, the water pump, and the alternator. Well, if you have to adjust the power steering belt first, then you put on the 7570 alternator belt, and it will go into this groove right here, which has already been adjusted, right? If you don't do this, if you tighten the alternator belt first and then try to tighten this power steering belt, you won't be able to tighten it. So you'll squeal the power steering every time. So first you tighten the power steering belt, 7450 is the power steering belt number. Then you put on your alternator belt, 7570. The last belt to put on is your dash AC. And to be honest with you, if you're driving down the highway and you throw all your belts, could be that the AC belt made it throw off because the AC compressor is turning on and off, on and off. If the belt's loose, you'll hear it squeal every time it turns on. Well, your problem could be that the AC belt has thrown off, thrown all your other belts and put you on the side of the road. So if your belts throw off, my personal biased subjective opinion is to put on the 7570 belt, leave off the AC belt. Matter of fact, you can even just cut it. Leave it off. Now, it means your dash air won't work, I know, but to be personally, I'd use the dash air in town. I would use the roof air and the generator on the highway and not use that dash AC because that old A6 compressor is going to throw apart anytime. I mean, 50-year-old system. What can you say? Okay. So on the highway, I don't use the dash AC. Sounds a little silly to have it and not use it, doesn't it? That's why you want to get a new one. You want to get one of the send-in compressors. Rather than 25 horsepower, it pulls like 5. You want to upgrade this 50-year-old AC system to make it where you can rely on it more. Now, if you've got a 403, 77 and 78, your AC belt number is a 7603. If you have a 455, that's 73 to 77 early. 7619 is your belt. I would check these numbers to be sure because over the decades, somebody could have used a different belt. See what your belt is on there. You need to have a set of belts in the coach with you all the time. Say, well, I'm going to do this thing with 7570 belt strapped. Oh, well, yeah, but you might throw it off again. Okay. I would have a second 7570 belt tie wrap. Now, when you tie wrap it, don't twist it because it'll take that shape. Put it on, let it be straight, and then just tie wrap it on there. It's not going to go anywhere. Just tie wrap it in there. Okay. Have it straight. So this is the way I look at it. If you do go with a send-in compressor, it doesn't use these AC belts. You're going to have to decide what belt it is. I don't know what number that one is. All right. Well, I hope this helps you a little bit on fan belts. If you've gone to the serpentine system, I dig that. I understand why. And all new cars have serpentine systems. And it makes sense if you're going to go after it. The question is not what to do. It's where to stop. You can just keep going and going and going. Serpentine system is an awesome system. Awesome system. Get a new power steering pump. You get a new small case alternator with it. You get the send-in compressor with it. So the CVF serpentine belt system is certainly a way to go. But on the other side, your original belt system, you have 3 belts turning the water pump. you have to turn the water pump to move. So you have 3 options to turn the water pump. And if you do nothing more than to get the alternator belt on, you can turn the water pump, power steering pump, and alternator, and you can go. So the reliability on our original V-belt system is in how it's put together and the options you have. Serpentine system, totally different. Make sense? All right, well, look, thanks for the time. This will be in the database. And if you have any other questions, if you're wanting to do something and you have a question, give me a call. That's why I'm here. These videos are to get you information and then call me. These are not DIY, do everything. Of course you might. That's cool. All right, look, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.